More than 25 years later, and no one has ever been charged in the murders of Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. But we may be seeing a possible breakthrough in at least one of these cases that have been such a mystery for years. Earlier this week, police searched a home near Las Vegas in connection to the 1996 murder. Officials say this home is connected to the man who says he was in the car when Tupac was shot near the Las Vegas Strip after leaving a Mike Tyson fight. Investigators have always believed that the murder in Los Angeles of Chris Wallace, better known as Notorious B.I.G., was in retaliation for Tupac's death. Joining me now, retired LAPD Detective Greg Kading. He investigated the killings for decades. He's also the author of Murder Rap, the untold story of the Biggie Smalls and Tupac murder investigations. Thank you for being here. This sounds like a major breakthrough in the case, but knowing it as well as you do you see it that way?
Well, it's certainly a good sign. I mean, there's just been silence for years. And so it goes to show that Las Vegas has a reinvigorated interest in this case. And so I'm really excited about that. Now, let's just see what happens next. But the search warrant's certainly a good start.
Why has there been so much silence? As you investigated these cases, what was the reason so many people were afraid to come forward, kept what had happened that night such a secret?
Well, initially, back in the times in 96, 97, when these things happened, law enforcement investigators just weren't getting any cooperation. Most of the people that were surrounding these two rap stars came from kind of that street culture where they just don't cooperate with law enforcement. So it was very tough cases back then. And then through attrition, a lot of the witnesses and co-conspirators in these murders started to die off. And so it just led to, this period of silence. But it looks like Las Vegas has decided to try to close this case officially once and for all.
So Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, had an agreement with police who said that they would not bring charges against him, correct? What was part of that agreement and the reason for it?
That's slightly erroneous. The agreement was that this proffer session that we had with Keefe D back in 1998 when he confessed to the murder, he was allowed to make self-incriminating statements, and those statements themselves could not be held against him. He did not have immunity from prosecution. So only his own self-incriminating statements were off the table. However, when he began to go out and boast publicly about his role in the murder, it kind of nullified that agreement. And now all of these things that he's been saying publicly can, in fact, be used against him.
Okay, which led to this search in Vegas of this home. What evidence have police and investigators been able to gather so far, to your knowledge?
From what I understand, just mostly historical stuff that has to do with maybe photographs that were taken back in the time that would place them in a particular area. Related to the murder, showing association between the different co-conspirators, because there was 4 people that were in the car that night when Tupac Shakur was shot and killed. So you're just looking for historical information, essentially, but then anything else that possibly can show culpability.
Do you believe this case is solvable all these years later, that someone will be held accountable for Tupac's death?
Well, from law enforcement perspective, and I can say this on behalf of Las Vegas and also Los Angeles, these are not unsolved. We know who did them. They are unprosecuted. And that's for a variety of reasons, but they are not unsolved in the minds of investigators. However, the public perceives it that way because there's never been official closure.
And do you expect official closure after these new developments, that some prosecution may happen, justice will be served?
Most certainly in the Las Vegas case, in Tupac's case, I believe that they will close this case.
How about in Biggie's case?
Biggie's case is a little bit more difficult. It's more convoluted, but let's hope that this incident in Vegas, this situation in Vegas, kind of spurns the LAPD to maybe do the same thing. They know who killed Biggie. Let's close these cases once and for all.
25 years have gone by. Let's hope another doesn't. Greg Kading, thank you. I appreciate you being on with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.